You know that's my song. Listen. Welcome
Okay.
everybody. I want you to walk with me. Come on now. Get your visual. Everybody been into a grocery store. Everything looks normal. Come on now. Everything, hold on. Let me get this right. Everything looks normal. Everything looks safe. Everything looks healthy. But what if I told you, come on in, most of what uh, that is in the store is designed to keep you coming back. Mm, not make you better. But wait, and here's where we connect something that we've talked about 2 weeks ago. In this show, Food is Information, we said food is just not bad, it's signaling. Remember, all the food you eat has the instructions for what you're asking your body to do. Give me an example, G. I ain't watched that show. If you feed your body protein and fat, you're saying pull the nutrients, uh, take care of my joints and my hormones. But then when you turn around and put the soda and have dessert and the cake, you're telling your body, store the fat. That's it.
Simple.
Okay. Yeah, it's just that simple. And here's where no, so today we're going to take it one step further. All right. I want you to really, really see what is going on. But before I go any further, I want to be clear about something. I have to. I am not here to make you change. I am not a medical doctor, right? I am a woman who lived with this experience of fibromyalgia, high blood pressure, metabolic issues, chronic pain. I was on Percocets, the high dose, 3 years. No one said, you know what? They didn't say, oh, I'm concerned about your liver. They said, come on in, let me test it. They didn't remove that prescription at all. And so without it, oh, whoa, I got to tell you also, I was a vegan for 4.5 years while I was on those Percocets and nothing was healed. Nothing. Okay. So without any research, we come on here and talk to y'all. I had zero research. I was doing the carnivore diet before I saw a Dr. Berry, a Dr. Chafee, any of those people. My brother had just shared and asked one question. Have y'all ever heard of an all meat diet? And we hadn't. And my husband that same day started. And at the time, we both was on multiple medications and he could barely walk. Y'all can go watch the video. And I went from eating no meat at all on May 26, 2023. That's all I eat, and I've never looked back. So I'm sharing this because healing doesn't always show up the way that you are expecting it. And that's the part that, Robert and I, we come on and we really want you to know that it doesn't always show up like that. So now I want you to walk with me. Oh Lord, I'm on the ship, y'all. Everything, like I said, let's go through the grocery store. And then you all of a sudden start seeing things that say sugar free. It'll say healthy, heart healthy. And you think that you are doing the right thing. I did too. I did too. But it's not just what food does to the body, it's where you've been told and trained to get your food. If I say go get something to eat, we all think the grocery store. But prior, it was out back. Think about your great grandmother or your grandmother, depending on how old you are. Because I don't have a garden. But I remember my grandmother having gardens and stuff like that. Right? So if the grocery store is where most of those signals are coming from, then what we believe is healthy in the stores really do matter. Robin, break that down for the people.
All right. Well, welcome back, you everybody, to Hey Sister Girl. And as you can see tonight, we're talking about the grocery store. Um, so we really want to just take it back a step, right? Because we are not walking into the grocery store trying to make bad choices. Many of us are on some form of a diet. We are trying to go in here and make the best possible choices that we can make. We're trying to do better, right? So what we do is we go and we pick up what we have been told was healthy, just like G just described. We have been told that these foods are healthy. So let me name a couple of them for you. Oatmeal. Oatmeal is one of the most worst things that you could possibly eat. Not only is it's
Say
not
that
meant
so.
for human consumption, it is meant for, like, maybe the animals to eat it, but it also is covered in what they call glyphosate, which is a toxic, like, what they use to kill the animals, insecticide, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, you may have heard of it, it's called Roundup, something that they spray on plants out in the fields, right? So, it's really, really, really toxic. What about whole grain bread or low-fat yogurt? How about those good old granola bars? I know I used to eat those healthy the one in the green wrapper. I used to eat that all the time thinking that that was healthy. How about vegetable oil, canola oil, even olive oil that they tell you is good? They say sunflower oil. Look at your dressing that you're putting on your salad. I went to the store the other day and I was buying a salad because I got some people in here who eat salad. And I looked at the dressings, the lighthouse, the one that's in the refrigerator section, and it looks like it's supposed to be healthy. And what were the first ingredients? The first ingredient was either canola oil or soybean oil. Those oils are toxic. So on the surface, it looks right. It looks like that's what you're supposed to be doing, but there's a big problem. The label, that heart healthy label, the whole grain label, the low fat label are marketing terms. And I was just looking it up because I'm like, how much does it cost for a company to put that healthy label on there and try to fool all of us into thinking that food is healthy? It costs about let's see, it says the cost to place a heart healthy logo on a product, specifically the American Heart Association check mark, which we're all looking for to see is this thing really healthy, is a structured annual fee that depends on your company's sales revenue,
Mm.
the number of products being certified, and the type of certification. It has nothing to do with the healthiness of the food. It is something that they bought in order to put a label on the box in order to trick you into thinking that that is healthy. Those are marketing terms and they have nothing to do with how your body responds to these different foods that you're ingesting, right? So, what happens when they remove fat and you get this low fat, right? So, what are they adding? They're adding something in there to replace the fat because otherwise it ain't gonna taste like nothing. What do you think they're adding? They're replacing it with sugar and carbohydrates, right? So oftentimes you will see these low fat things that they have added some sort of a sugar. You have to learn to read labels and recognize those foods that are actually sugar, right? And so I think that's the thing is that we think that I've cut way back on my sugar. I'm not having that much sugar. I'm totally not having sugar in my coffee anymore. But you need to start to recognize the other things that are sugar that are not that they don't say sugar, right? So they replace it with sugar. They replace that fat with sugar and carbohydrates. What happens inside the body? The carbohydrates break down into glucose. So now, instead of a stable energy source, we're getting those glucose spikes. And we talked about this, I think we talked about it last week, where that glucose in insulin is just tapping, 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 tapping all day long. Dun, 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 dun. It's just tapping, right? It's continuing to tap on you and until your cells say, you know what? I ain't letting nobody else in. So you get insulin resistant, right? And so we get those repeated glucose spikes, the insulin goes up, and your body begins to store fat. And it stores a lot of things, not just fat, but the toxins that are in those seed oils, that stuff is also stored up in the fat, right? So what about whole grains? Whole grains have to be good because they digest slowly, right? And so they still convert to glucose. They still convert to glucose. Your body does not digest a heart healthy or a healthy check mark label. They do not. What happens is your body deals with the chemistry of it when you add those foods in. Then let's talk about seed oils. Highly processed, literally meant to be able to lubricate machinery. That is what the seed oils are for. And so now we done started eating the seed oil because it looks good. They they took the smell out of it, made it look golden and beautiful, and now we gonna eat that. Or think about Crisco. Oh, it looks so fluffy. You could just dip your finger in it and just eat some because it just looks so fluffy and clear, right? They made it look good, but it's still not fit for human consumption. Okay. Our bodies cannot process it. It is unstable under heat. And I want to mention this because if I get a hold of a seed oil, my eczema will flare up. Those blisters that I talk about in my hands, the cracking and flaking and all of that stuff. If I get a seed oil, my joint inflammation will flare up. I will wake up heavier in the morning because I've had seed oil, right? Seed oils are directly linked to chronic inflammation in the body. And it takes a very long time for them to get out. So I have heard that they have a 7-year half-life. That means if you eat it today, it's going to take 7 years before it's all the way gone out of your body. That's crazy. I mean, like, that's crazy. That's crazy. So we got these foods, they're marketed as healthy, but metabolically, they're doing the exact opposite of what people think. And this is where we get stuck, right? Because we're doing what we've been told. We've been sold this bill of goods and we're doing what we have been told to do, and we are not getting the results that we have expected, right? So we have been expecting to lose weight and keep it off, and we have not. We have expected to get better and we have not. So 2 weeks ago in the episode that we talked about food being information, we talked about what food does in the body, and today we are showing where those foods are coming from and why so many people are very confused about what to eat. Just because something is labeled healthy does not mean your body agrees. So, now that we've got food that's sending the wrong signals and labels that are telling a completely opposite story, take us a little bit deeper because this isn't random.
No, it isn't. You know what? Let me finish off because I can't let the grocery store off the hook because it's really not neutral. This is
Mm.
about money, okay? It is designed, it is organized, and it's set up a way that guides your behavior, whether you realize it or not, okay? So I said before, it's not just the food in your body, it's where we get it from. And it goes back like everything that I think of now, I go back primal. And sometimes I don't even go back to an ancestor. I go back even further than that. Before the smartest, dumbest people got all of this technology and have all of these things and all of these shortcuts somewhere, because I don't use a microwave. Nothing is better than me taking out a pot, putting it on, and reheating my food. It tastes better to me. I still do things what we call the old school way. All right. That just is really what works for me. So the system behind these shelves, it's not random, y'all. It's not. And I want you to know that, let me say, really need to be clear when I say this. Because this is not a conspiracy. I want you to think about it. Matter of fact, look at your health. How's that working for you? This is about another structure. This is about the system that it's built around. Like Robin said, shelf stability, repeat buying. How, anybody besides me had eaten something and it was so good, but you really didn't get enough and you ran back to the store to get it again. Or it is one of your favorites. You get to the store, there's 5 left.
I'm gonna
Now,
buy all 5.
some people will buy all 5.
I'll buy all 5.
I would buy four, and because if I came to the store and saw just one, I was happy. All right. Once again, it's about that repeat buying and making food taste so good. They even said Lay's. You can't just eat one. They knew what they were talking about. They stood behind that. Why? Because they put the chemical on there that you really couldn't stop.
Mm.
Listen, do you know how many Oreos you ate? You were eating them and they weren't even tasting good anymore, but you would still twist that thing, get that cream off. I wasn't big on the cream. I just loved the cookie. Oh my God, my teeth was chocolate. When they came back out, looked like something wasn't right. Then on the other side of that, then you got the healthcare, and it's built more around managing the disease than preventing it. Think about it. Now you done went into the store. Store so beautifully done. You got the fruits, the vegetables, and the only time you really go over there and get some of those, you end up grabbing a bag of something, a bag of apples, a bag of oranges. Maybe you get some bananas that you can cut over into your cereal and stuff like that, or the parfaits that you are making. You do that, and you go up, because I know I did, up and down every single aisle, whether it was on my list or not. You did all of that. And then you went over to the meat department. Okay. You got to get your dairy and all of that. It was a whole loop, because now you got the foods that, whether you are lactose intolerant, come on now. I'm telling you some real good stuff here. And for those that in your mind you done turned around and said, okay, well, look here. I eat healthy. I eat the avocado oil. I do the avocado mayo. Yep, that's that big old pretty picture on the front. Just pick it up and turn it around. It's gonna say canola oil. It's going, and
Mhm.
it'll have some avocado, that much, just enough where they could actually put the picture on the front. Think I'm lying? Pause the video and run, go look. I'm just saying, because it was built more around managing a disease than preventing it. So now you caught up in the loop. Food keeps you consuming, the body breaks down over time, and then the system steps in to manage what happened to you next. It's not personal, it's economics. Huh? The
Mhm.
system is optimized for consumption, not correction. And once you see that, you're going to stop blaming yourself, because, see, I didn't come in here to blame you, right? Because when I tell everybody, when Dr. Atkins, I remember his name, it wasn't working. Dr. Atkins was on the Oprah Winfrey show all them years ago. So, Oprah been off TV like that for a long time. So Dr.
Mhm.
Atkins, dead. So he was alive then. And they had the dinner tables and stuff like that. And the people was eating the steak, no potato, no bread, and a vegetable, because it was keto then. And I'm looking at that, and they all talking about how good they feel. They're talking about how they no longer had this, and this issue. I really didn't have a bunch of issues at that time, but I was overweight. And when I sat and thought about giving up, I was like, oh no, I'm too young for that. I'm too young to give those things up, not making a connection at all. The system is designed to keep you in the loop. So start asking yourself some better questions. All right. So if the system isn't built for your health, then the question becomes, what do you actually do about it? Robin, tell them.
All right. So I love this conversation about the grocery store. We're pulling back the curtain on that. I was one of those too that used to go up and down every single aisle just in case, something might speak to me while I'm going through all those aisles. But we're trying to make it simple because this does not have to be complicated. It's not complicated. The grocery store is full of confusion. If you look at those labels, they're going to tell you a lie. You saw the thumbnail tonight. They're telling you a lie. So your strategy has got to be built on clarity. So we're going to start with this. We are talking about eating food that does not need a label.
Hmm.
We don't have to look at the label on the beef. Now, you might have to look at it now because there's a few things that they're doing that are weird. So look at the label on your beef and make sure it just says beef. It doesn't need like a 10% sodium solution added to it. What is that? It doesn't need that. Um, so yeah, look at the meat. And then also you're going to look for things that indicate to you that this is not real meat. This is a lab grown meat. This is something new that I'm seeing coming out, and so we're going to be looking for that. Beef, lamb, eggs, seafood, one ingredient foods. We eat only meat. We eat only meat. But if you shop around the perimeter of that grocery store instead of diving into every aisle, you're going to be on a better track. You'll be closer to the right track if you do it that way. But your body is going to immediately recognize beef. And and so we want to start to remove the things that are driving the confusion and signaling issues that we talked about. The first thing has got to be sugar. We have to eliminate sugar. We talk about on here all the time. We come in here every week and talk about the fact that you can only have 1 teaspoon of added sugar in your body. That's all your body can manage. And yet we're eating that's 4 carbohydrates. 4. Okay. So I think a bowl of oatmeal might have like 30 something.
Mm.
A one serving of pasta has like 42. I was just looking at it yesterday. Has 42 carbohydrates. So your body is fighting for its life, right? So we want to remove those things, starting with sugar, starting with those plant flour-based products. We talked last week about the fact that they have known for over 100 years, well over 100 years, that flour makes you fat.
Mm.
And
And just wait and think about how many things you, if they knew just about flour. So think of cakes, cookies, pie crust, flour, pasta, bread, sometimes, because I don't know what they putting in bread now,
mm,
flour. The,
yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. And I'm pretty sure you guys can think of some other things. They took this inexpensive item, they get dirt cheap, and then they recreate these things and charge you an arm and a leg for it. That's all.
That's right. I mean, it's a commodity, right? So they get giant, big subsidies on it, and and it really makes everybody sick. And then, as G mentioned, we are going into the sick cycle because we're eating this stuff. So flour-based products are something that you need to eliminate. You need to remove that from your way of eating. And then, of course, the toxic seed oils. Toxic seed oils are toxic. Canola oil, sunflower, safflower, cottonseed oil, soybean oil. All of those seed oils are toxic. Now, I know they told you don't eat lard. It's going to clog your arteries. That's a lie. Beef tallow, it's not going to clog your arteries. And so those are things that we are afraid of because of marketing. They have marketed to us. All right. So here's another shift that matters, and that is that we are eating from sunup to sundown. We're eating
Oh
all day
Lord.
long, right? We got to stop eating all day. How do we do that? We need to reduce the amount of times that we're eating in a day. When we reduce how often we are eating, we are reducing how often we are telling our body to store. We're going to give our body the space and time to actually use the energy that we have ingested. We eat only meat. So we're not eating any sugar, but we don't want to be storing it. We want to allow the body to burn that fat off. So here's the thing, on a carnivore way of eating, which is what we do, you will be less hungry, period. You will be less hungry, and you will not need to eat all day long. All those 3 meals and 3 snacks, and you're eating 6, 7, 8 times a day. That's just way too many times. Your body is fighting for its life. So when you eat real food, you're going to get full, satiated, and then you don't need to keep going back over and over again. So now instead of chasing our hunger all day, we're actually being satisfied.
Yep,
It really is a completely different experience. I don't know, G, if you felt this same way, like that being satiated is a game changer.
it
Really,
is.
it is.
Let me just say, because so one person wanted to know, did I have cancer? No, I don't, y'all. I
Oh.
am on a cruise ship. And if you stay to the end, I'll take this off and you will see why it's covered up. So you got to hang in there to the end. And cause see, I don't have no shame in my game.
I know
I
that's
come
right.
on, wait a minute, hold on. I come on and look, I show you all my big pictures. Where is that? There it is. That was me. Look
Mhm.
at me right there. Standard American diet. That's me as a vegan. I show me and my husband and how there we are. So there's no shame in my game, none whatsoever. And I'm not sad that I took pictures. I don't hide from a camera. I'm so glad I have that documentation, because I get to come before you and say, listen, this really works. Robin and I together, you could just put all the diets, but I lived 4.5 years as a vegan, and
Mhm.
it did not help me at all. It did not help me at all. All I could say is I'm a vegan, and was proud of it too, because I felt like I was at the top of the food chain. I just came from dinner, right? And of course, the way that I eat, and I'm at a table of other carnivores, and one
Nice.
person had 2 eggs, salmon, and 4 steaks on his plate. Yeah. And here we are pouring, because they actually grill me fat, and then down at the bottom is the rendered fat. And here we all got our own containers, and we pouring it over, and the people next to us was trying to pretend like they was looking out the window, because I got a window seat. But I could follow your eyes. He was just doing like this, like, oh my God, did you? And I know he was probably kicking his wife under the table, like, look at they plates. They don't have anything else. There's no bread. I live this thing. This
Yes.
isn't me just coming on here telling you my blood work is phenomenal. 90% of the people watching this, unless you're carnivore, want my blood work. I promise you do. Metabolically off the chain. Barring any accident, for instance, uh, our hearts and prayers go out to the people in the plane crash at LaGuardia Airport. That was a sad thing. It would have to be something that took me out, because it won't be an illness. I'm giving my body everything that it needs.
Yes.
I'm getting the proper amount of sleep. I'm getting my workout on, and it's light, y'all. I don't use a bunch of weights. I do body resistance, and it's working. And my biggest thing is sitting in a chair, standing up. I do those chair sits all the time, because I want to always be able to get myself up out of a chair and walk to the bathroom on my own and hold my dignity. I don't want to have a stranger that I have to pay money, whether it's through insurance or Medicaid, to wipe my butt. And then I have a bowel movement. And did you really get all the poop off of me? I'm just thankful that you did it. And then I'm laying there and I'm like, I still smell poop.
Mm.
And
Mm,
then
mm, mm.
what do I turn around to you? Because you're at the mercy of somebody else. That's the life you want. That's the burden you want to put on your family. So with that, we come on here, and this is what it is that we talk about. And I done forgot the question that you asked me, Robin. So I'm gonna tell you what. Let's wrap it up.
All right.
And don't go anywhere, because I'm gonna take this thing off so y'all can see what my hair looks like underneath and why I run it here and have it covered. No, I don't have cancer. Um, Robin and I both coach, right? We have two different styles
Mhm.
of coaching. We walk you through this. We both have 90-day programs. Our information is down in the description. I want to leave time for an event that's coming up. Put the banner up. Let's let the people know. If you really want to hang out with people, and you doctors,
Yes.
regular people with testimonies, you really, really, really want to know, that's where you need to be. We're gonna leave it on the screen for a moment, and leave it there, Robin.
Okay.
We're gonna
All
leave it
right.
on the screen for a moment, and so you can turn around and get your scan that in.
And your
You don't
QR
want to miss
code.
out on it. Yep, do that QR code and get it. Go and take it down, and bam, this is why. Yes, I have hair, y'all. I have hair. I
You
told
have
y'all I ain't
beautiful
ashamed.
hair.
I'm not ashamed. But that seawater out there will really, really mess me up. And so instead of me having to do it, that's what I do. But y'all thought I was ashamed. So if I'm sitting up here and I'm willing to
You
be
know,
that
shaking no
vulnerable,
shame in the
I
game.
know a lot of people that wouldn't turn around and do that. You don't want certain people seeing you certain ways and all that other stuff. You ain't got no heaven or hell to put me in. So why am I
All right.
worried about that? Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. Keep your dignity. I promise my children and my family, my grands, y'all ain't gonna have to take care of me. I'm gonna be able to get up and go and shower and do all the things that I need to do. I told my husband, we just gonna continue to enjoy life. You won't have to be my nurse, and I won't have to be his. That we get to, if we want to dance, whatever it is, I see nothing tearing my body down because them aches and pains. And then when I had to turn around and do this right here, and then look, hold on, wait, and get up like that. I ain't got to do that no more.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I just get up. I get up if I want to day. Y'all, I was 59 years old and turned a cartwheel. That's eating this way will turn around and do. Who thinks about doing stuff like that? Me. All right. So
Mhm,
guess
mhm.
what? We'll be live again next week, 7 p.m. every Monday. That same bat channel, that same bat time. See you guys then.
Bye, everybody.